Hey everyone, here I am in my good morning video wearing some of my mom's pajamas. Most of you all know my mom passed away on the 14th. This has been a very unexpected, hard thing to go through. And it seems like this month it has just rained and rained. I went on vacation with Tanya and I got sick when I was on vacation with her. So it's like even my vacation, I'm like, man, I spent half my vacation sick. But I was like, I refused to let that take me down. And we had so much fun. I was literally out at the Glow show, like nonstop blowing my nose. Like you guys have no idea behind the scenes of those pictures. I was a mess. And I was like, push on through. I will not let sickness ruin my vacation. I worked too hard to get here. And then we get back from my vacation and I'm like not even a full week back. I'm tired still from vacation, get back to work, start to get caught up at work. And then that Sunday, I get the call that my mom passed away. And then I got to fly out to Tennessee and take care of all of her stuff and get her cremated. And when I'm there, we did this burn of stuff that we found everywhere. Everywhere, piles and piles of it. And I was like, I can't take that back with me to California. So we were gonna burn it, and we burned this big pile. Like I had the family, that everybody that knows my mom or had smoked with her before, they were all on the call, like when I was burning this massive pile of weed. And it smoked for like probably about 40 minutes, no joke. I played one of the songs she liked, that Steve Miller Joker song. And as the pile burned down near the end of the time, like it was coming to an end, smolder. And then like we got off the call, ended the call. I go inside and we had been waiting for like the whole week to try and get her ashes back. Well, not the whole week, but a few days already, waiting to get her ashes because we really wanted to get her ashes and get her stuff and her death certificate so we could get everything taken care of while I was there in Tennessee. And so I go inside to sit and talk to my uncle, and I literally sit down, and right after this pile finished burning and became ashes, I sit down and they call and say, your mom's ashes are ready to be picked up. I was like, this is wild. Like you could not time it any better. And so that happened, and it was almost like my mom's last smoke out with everybody that she used to smoke with. And then I get home from Tennessee and I still haven't like fully processed everything. And then it seemed like every day I would start to get into like that day that happened, I had some drama brought to me, and so I wasn't like having to deal with that while I'm taking care of my mom and my mom's stuff. And then I get home, and like one of the next hardest days that I've had, where it was like Tuesday, and I start bawling my eyes out, and I'm like really emotionally going through it, and I'm having to work through this, you guys, because I have to be back at work. I literally just took a vacation, then bereavement for a week was used to take care of all my mom's stuff, so I haven't had time to really just like sit and feel everything and allow myself to process through everything. And then drama again comes to me that day, and like a distraction. I don't know if I'm not meant to like get into my feelings that much, but I still I moved through that day, and it was hard. And then I'm going through my work week, of course, when you're grieving, every time a memory hits, every time somebody says something about your parent or your loss, it's like all of a sudden it becomes real again. And Then my mom's stuff got delivered, like within a couple days that I had shipped back here. I took that out to my sisters, and everybody's, gone through all of the things that I brought back. And I got these pajamas. So yeah, and then my friend Tanya here was visiting from Florida. And just the timing, like, you guys, again, the timing. She was almost gonna book her return flight earlier than she did. But as we were talking, we're like, oh, look at the cost here. And so she ended up booking it out to the 27th. Now, if she would have went with her original date, I wouldn't have been able to fly to Tennessee. But when we booked her return flight, it was like the timing of it ended up putting her here to be able to take care of Miles while I was in Tennessee. And Miles was like, on that Wednesday, Miles was so sick while I was gone, and he was like vomiting and diarrhea from Wednesday till Saturday. When I returned was the first day he was able to hold down food. Well, I get home on Saturday, and then Miles starts having an allergic reaction that night, and so I gave him Benadryl and put that cream or whatever, cortisone cream on him. And then Tuesday night, all of a sudden it comes back again, and I have no idea what's causing this because there's no change in his food, no change in the laundry, nothing, but he breaks out with hives all over, like his arms, his legs this time, like getting worse. And it's too late to take him to urgent care, so I take him to the ER. And we think it's seasonal allergy related, but so I deal with that, right? And this is my first week back after all of this. And then Thursday, I start coming down with being sick, and I catch what Miles had. And then I'm sick all Thursday, Friday, and all weekend till now. Oh, and Tanya had flown home last Saturday, right? But Friday, she was checking out the snake, and we weren't around, and she's not really familiar with how Toothless can like get away from you. And so needless to say, Toothless got away from her and got lost, and she was in a panic, but we were asleep already, so she didn't know what to do. So then she had to fly home, and Toothless is still missing, so she's, feeling terrible about losing the snake, and we have no idea where she's at. I'm like worried, am I gonna have to cut the bottoms off of all my couches to try and find her, because I can't find her in any place I can see. She's a ball python, so she hides. But then, again, timing. So Miles lost his library book that his school gave him, and I had told him to go look on his bookshelf, and we checked the kitchen and everything, and it just happened to be that time of night that we're sitting here. We're going to be going to bed soon, and I'm like, Miles, where's your library book? Did you check that bookshelf? So I text Tanya, and I'm like, Tanya, where's that? Did you see his library book anywhere? He says it was on the kitchen table. It was called whatever it was called. And she's like, I'm pretty sure I put all of his books on his bookshelf by his room. So she says that in this specific timing, right? It's timing. She says that to me, and I'm sitting there with Miles, and I was like, fine. Miles, if I go over there and I find your book, you're going to be in so much trouble, because like he never wants to look. I always have to look. So I go over there to the bookshelf, and I go to start looking at the bookshelf, and all of a sudden Miles from behind me says, Toothless! And I look over, and I see this giant snake across the carpet, and I jumped and got scared, and then like came to myself, Toothless! And I was so excited, and I picked her up, and it, like, I mean, it's late Florida time. It was like probably 9 o'clock, so I text Tanya, and I was like, oh my gosh, Tanya, look what we found. And we found Toothless, and it was just like the perfect timing. If she wouldn't have said the bookshelf when she did, and I'm like, okay, let's go look right now. Like, we could have missed her. She could have went to my room. She's pretty quick. Like, it would have been just such a short time, because we just happened to catch her while she was traveling. And we wouldn't have done that if we weren't looking for the library book. So it's these divine timings of everything. Now, while I've been gone from vacation, I missed a week of school, right? And I'm like, okay, I'll catch up when I get back. no, that's not going to happen because then mom passes away and that puts me back another week. 'Cause there's no way I can do any schooling while I'm in Tennessee and taking care of all of this. So now I'm like a couple weeks behind with my health coach, life coach program that I'm doing. And I've been stressing off of that and stressing off of work and, like I'm behind in everything. And I feel like with what happened with Toothless last night, it was just like the final reminder, you are on divine timing. Trust divine timing in your life. Everything is unfolding perfectly as it should. All things working together for your good. Even the things that seem hard, like even throughout my mom's passing, there was like sign after sign of stuff that just like, it was like experiencing her through it. It was experiencing so many synchronicities. The cost of her cremation, 2225, right? $2,225. And then I go to a restaurant right after with my Uncle Pete, and it's the Waffle House that they like to go to. And I put these songs that she liked on the jukebox because she used to always play those songs when we would go to pizza places when we were kids. And they come and bring the bill, and the bill was $22.25, 2225. Like, and this was like right after. I was just like, I said, did you, like, what is the chances of that? What are the chances of that? It's no randomness in life. Everything is divine, and it's all like, oh my gosh, when you start to look and you notice these things, it's like you start to see it in everything, and you start to just trust everything's unfolding perfectly as it should be. And yeah, there's some like, I mean, it's easy to say, well, like, there's some jacked up shit going on in the world. I agree. There is. And I don't understand it all. Uh, I can't say why or why not that's happening, but I understand and understand in my life that like I see God in everything, in all of creation, and in time and in everything, and it brings me back to this place of peace that I need to just keep moving along and trust that everything is unfolding perfectly as it should be. And I get these kind of signs, like the timing of everything with Toothless. Like the timing, like how all of that conversation, me being like, okay, let me go look now. Like all of that had to have happened in perfect timing to be able to catch her going across that floor, right? Or she could have gone into my room and been lost in there for a while. I was so scared because we have cleaning ladies coming on Thursday, and I'm like, I did not want them to be cleaning the house and find her crawling across the floor. Anyway, you guys, so yeah, I just want to encourage all of y'all, trust the process, even when things seem bad. Like I'm going through grieving my mom, you guys. This is not expected. I love my mom, and we're planning her celebration of life, and I'm just reminded that the beauty of life, you know, to take in what we have here. We are so blessed to be able to experience life. And it's almost like sometimes when you're going through stuff, you have to pull yourself out of your head and become the observer and just look at things from a higher perspective. And how can this work for my good? How is this working for my good? In what ways can I grow through this experience? I've actually like quit drinking. Like I'm not through since my mom passed away. I mean, I know I took Tanya to the winery so she could have a wine tasting experience while she was here, but all through this process, like I haven't drank as I'm processing what's going on with my mom. I am not using anything. I want to feel and experience every emotion and allow myself to process and move through them, because I know that that's the healthy thing to do, because I'm teaching myself how to feel these, how to move through them. And I'm also reteaching my body how to process what's going on. Like it's I don't know. I find that fascinating to be able to retrain myself in how I'm processing. Like when fear comes up, recognizing when something's fear, and like you almost got to speak to your body. Look, I know fear was our response to that in the past, but it's not needed anymore. So I send love to it and I release it. And I'm going to choose instead to trust that all things are working together for my good. And I literally have this conversation with myself, and I come back into a place of peace and rest and trust and recognition that, you know what, look, God is in me. We're all one with creation, with God, and God is in us. And recognizing who I am. I am divinity expressed as Lisa here in this earth, in this skin suit. And I came here as a soul wanting to have a human experience. And so I'm in here for the experience. So you know what? I want to experience all the beauty, the ups, the downs, the everything in between. I came here for this. And there's so much beauty to be seen here and experienced here. And uh, there's that song, Believer, where the lyrics to it where he's like, seeing the beauty through the pain. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the beauty through the pain. And I've seen the beauty through the pain over and over again in my life through all these hard things that I've been through and going through the loss of my mom. I'm finding the beauty in that pain. I'm finding the beauty through that pain when I allow myself to just move through it, and I'm not drowning out my feelings and emotions with alcohol or anything else. Like, I'm not trying to avoid them. I'm moving through them. I'm feeling them. I'm allowing them. I'm loving myself and loving my humanity for the experience that it's meant to be. And there's some amazing things that can happen when you start to allow that. And I'm not saying I don't complain, because let me tell you, this past week I really complained a lot. Why I gotta be sick? I feel like every freaking thing in the world is coming at me at one time. Like, can I just catch a freaking break? But then yesterday I'm out walking with Miles, and I had to go to the ER yesterday, you guys. So I'm telling you, it's not been easy for me. But I'm walking with Miles, and we're like picking a wish off the side of the road, and I'm just like, I want to see some beautiful things happen in our life this month. I adjusted my wish from the other day, and then we find Toothless on the floor. And life is what you make it. We are the creators of our reality. And there is so much truth to that, because it's all in how you choose to experience what you experience here. You can choose for everything to be negative and against you, or you can choose to allow everything to be working together for your good. And when what you believe becomes your experience will validate your beliefs. So if I believe everything is working together for my good, I'm constantly going to see things working together for my good. But if I believe everything's coming against me, life's always attacking me, that's what I'm going to experience. That's what I'm going to see, which will drive you more and more into negative, which can drive you into depression, which could drive you into horrible places. So I choose to go up with it. All things are working together for my good, and I'm going to see that happen constantly, over and over again. Does it mean I don't get down? No, I get down. I get down and I go through it just like everybody else. But it's what I do when I'm down and how I get out of it. That's my way. So just sharing that with you. I don't know. So I guess I wanted to just share about like the divine timing in this, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly as it should, and that all things are working together for our good. Even the hard things, it's all for our good. Everything's going to be okay. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.